Welcome back to Timberwolves Takes, where your boy Artis Woods will bring you 4 fresh minutes on the Timberwolves Takes. Summer League is here. Team USA basketball is here. So you know your boy is here as well. A ton to get into today, and I want to jump right into it. Again, welcome back. Man, we saw some exciting play in the Summer League. We saw some exciting play with Team USA basketball. And we got some trade rumors still circulating that I definitely want to get into. So without further ado, man, let's jump right into the first take of the day. That boy, Terrence Shannon Jr. He looked like he got next, y'all. He looked like he got next. Terrence Shannon Jr. will shine early this upcoming season. That's the take. I think he'll shine early. He's NBA ready. He's got the NBA body. He can shoot the ball. He can defend. He can play make. He can attack the basket. I mean, we saw pretty much everything on display in this first Summer League game. Now, I don't want to put all the stock in the world into Summer League play because we've seen some players excel in the Summer League and not play well in the pros. We've seen some players not play well in the Summer League and excel in the pros, right? But just going off of what we've seen, yo, he got some skill. We saw a lot of this at Illinois the last 2 seasons in college. It's clear his game is polished. He's been in college for a while. He's not a guy that was one and done. And he's coming into the game, man. He just looks like he's a step above his competitors, a step above the guys he's going up against. I mean, he looked like a man amongst boys in that first game. Just calling it how I see it. 25 points, 9 of 14 from the field. I mean, mid-range, 3-point shot, attacking the basket, got a poster in there, athleticism. I mean, hey, he can bang down low a little bit. Like, he's got a really good overall game, man. And I see him coming in, making an immediate impact. I said this last episode, and I'll say it again. We are really high on Rob Dillingham, as we should be. But do not sleep on Terrence. I think people are now up now, for sure. If they weren't up before, I think you're up now, for sure. You have to be, because he's waking you up. Don't sleep on Terrence, because he was one of those guys that a lot of people circled for the Wolves to take, even before, they made up their minds to trade up to 8 to get Dillingham. Why not trade up and get another ball handler, facilitator, scorer, and get Terrence Shannon Jr.? That's how you do it. So shout out to him. I think he's going to make an immediate impact with this Wolves team coming off of the bench. If he playing like this, he might start at some point. I'm just saying, he might. I mean, we'll see. But again, don't want to put too much stock into that. But the boy looked like he got next. That's all I'm going to say. The boy looking like he got next. On the take, number 2, Rob Dillingham will adjust. Something else I said last episode. I'm concerned about his size. I'm concerned about his defense. But really, those are the only 2 things I'm legit concerned about. And I think both things will take some adjusting. I think you're playing alongside a defense that was number 1 in basketball, so he'll be able to hide a little bit in his first few years until he maybe improves defensively. And I think the size thing, he's just going to have to adjust to. He's a smaller guard, right? Guys are going to push him around. Guys are going to move him around. It's going to be hard for him to get that solid foundation to rise up and shoot over the top of defenders at times. It's going to be hard for him to attack the basket and not get knocked down to the ground and teams not be physical with him. I mean, smaller guys like that, skinnier guys, they're going to be physical with. And that takes some adjusting, especially at the pro level. And so we saw him come out and struggle a bit from the field. What I will say, though, I do like how he ran the offense. I do like how he playmaked. I do like how, he facilitated and got other guys the ball to score, and ultimately it ended up resulting in a Wolves Summer League victory, right? I do like the other aspects of his game that come naturally. Like I said, the handle, the passing, the court vision, it's there. It's just going to take him some time from a scoring perspective to adjust to the physicality of the league, right? We saw Terrence Shannon Jr. go off because he's NBA ready, it seems like. He's got the NBA body. He can move guys around. Guys can't really move him around. He's flying all around the court. Rob is a little bit of the opposite, right? One and done player from Kentucky, right? a guy that doesn't have a ton of college experience, undersized. It's going to take him time to adjust, but that ceiling is still sky high. And like I said before, don't want to look too deep into summer league play, right? Don't want to be too high on Terrence and too low on Rob or vice versa, whatever the case may be, because at the end of the day, this is just a tune-up for the regular season in the pros, right? But just, again, going off of what we just seen, I looked at two players. I said one is NBA ready, and the other one is going to have to adjust. But I think both players will be impactful. Both players will get playing time, and both players will help the Minnesota Timberwolves get victories. I think both players are really going to help Anthony Edwards. I think both players are really going to help take the pressure off Anthony Edwards on the perimeter and on the rim, hit outside shots. I think both of these picks are a hit. It's just going to take one of them, I think, a little bit more time to adjust where the other might come in right away, guns a-blazing, it seems like. Ultimately, we'll see. But I think Rob will be just fine, and I think he will be a star in this league. Take number 3. We got to talk a little bit about Team USA basketball because I saw something very disturbing. I need coaches to stop playing games. Steve Kerr, Ty Lue, Eric Spoelstra, I need y'all to stop playing games. Let's get take 3 up on the board. Anthony Edwards should be a Team USA starter. Anthony Edwards should be a Team USA starter. There is no reason why Anthony Edwards should be on the bench. Now, I get it. And I brought this up before. 2008 D-Wade came off the bench, because Kobe was in the lineup and LeBron was in the lineup, right? And you had other guys that you just felt was a little bit better than D-Wade at that time. So you brought D-Wade off the bench. But when D-Wade came off that bench, he was a monster. He was a bucket getter. He was a spark plug off the bench. And then it ascended to maybe his best regular season as a pro with the Miami Heat. I think he came out that following year averaging 30 points a game. I mean, he was sensational that following year in the pros. Anthony Edwards could take on a similar role for sure. He could come out and lead Team USA in scoring, right? He could come out and have a great season next year and just be like a D-Wade 2.0. Not mad at that. But Devin Booker, Drew Holiday, I think the coaches got a little cute with the lineup. That's just my take. Then they got a little cute with the lineup. Think, okay, KD can't play. Kawhi Leonard is out now. Let's try something. And I'm all for trying stuff right now. It's exhibitions, right? This is, this isn't the real thing just yet. So I'm all for let's see what works. Let's see what clicks, right? But seeing Devin Booker trot out there in place of Anthony Edwards and seeing the team start as slow as they did, and then as soon as Anthony Edwards comes in, he gets the team going and the team goes on a run, I'm like, dude, come on now. I understand you want to have firepower coming off of the bench, but there's firepower all over Team USA already. You don't have to use Anthony Edwards as the spark plug off the bench when you have a Devin Booker you could bring off the bench. You have a Drew Holiday who you could potentially bring off the bench. You have other guys you could bring off. Anthony Davis is probably going to come off the bench. Bam Adebayo, right? Multiple guys can come off the bench and be that spark plug. Anthony Edwards came out and said he was the number one option amongst LeBron, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard at the time, Anthony Davis, Bam, Embiid. I'm the number one option. And then he went out there in that first game coming off the bench and showed y'all why he should be the number one option. I know some people don't agree with that. You want the pecking order to go a certain way with all of these stars. But listen, man, Anthony Edwards is here. He's here to stay, and he should easily be a starter. I think they need to get this corrected. And especially after Kawhi. Kawhi can't go. I thought for sure, Ant is out there. KD and Kawhi? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Anthony Edwards is out there. He can score, he can defend, he can rebound, he can facilitate, play make. He can do it all. He might not have as much experience as a lot of these other guys, but you can't tell. Get Anthony Edwards in the starting lineup and quit playing games. I don't want to turn on my TV anymore and Anthony Edwards is not a starter. Let's stop playing the games. Let's stop. Let's stop playing the games. Last take of the day. This is where we get to the trade rumors and the stuff that are circulating. And at one point, I was on the other side of the fence, but now I'm on the complete other side, given what we did in the draft. I think the Wolves should ignore the Knicks. And not only the Knicks, I think they should ignore any team in the league right now that is looking to trade for Karl-Anthony Towns. Yes, I said it. Artis Woods said it. I said it. I know I've said something different in the past. I know I've said before you might want to explore options. You might want to see what the market is like. You might want to, at least weigh options. Nah, I think you should shut it down. Because my biggest thing was, if you can hold on to Karl-Anthony Towns and you could get another playmaking guard in here, at the time my preference was for a guard that was experienced and was already a star in the league, then let's make it happen, right? But if it came down to trading Karl-Anthony Towns, it's something you got to consider given where the league seems to be headed with, Luka and Kyrie, with Tatum and Jaylen Brown, with how the league is going right now, right? With the guard play, with the backcourts, right? Seems like the backcourts are running the NBA right now with the exception of Denver with Jokic, who Jokic is almost like a guard in himself the way he plays, right? You got to at least think about it. What's my thought process? It's got to be a thought. And depending on the guard, I might have to make that move. I won't throw any more names out there. I already have. Y'all don't like the names. That's cool. That is cool. We can agree to disagree. The point is this. That was the thought process before the draft. But in the draft, you go and get Terrence Shannon Jr., you go and get Rob Dillingham, and now I'm looking like, give these young guys an opportunity to fulfill those roles. Be a spark plug off the bench in Terrence Shannon Jr., somebody who could come in and, defend, somebody who would come in and make perimeter shots, create for himself, get into the lane, get to the free throw line. Rob Dillingham come in and play make, right? Get others involved, hit outside shots, right? I mean, you drafted these guys for a reason. Give these guys an opportunity. I don't think the Wolves really had any other hole on the team that truly needed to be addressed. Sure, you could get some more shooting. I'm not going to deny shooting was a problem. But I'm looking around and I'm like, the Knicks, I'm hearing Julius Randle. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Josh Hart is cool. I don't like it. I don't like it. Maybe if you can involve the Utah and get marketing, maybe. Maybe you got to rethink it. Maybe you got to revisit the conversation at that point because he's an impact player who can shoot from the outside. But even then, y'all, I am now of the notion, now that you've made the picks that you have made in the draft, that you run this back now and you see what you have. You see what you have. You give these guys time to develop, time to grow, and see what happens going into this upcoming season. Maybe after the end of next season, if you don't get as far as you want to get, maybe then you make some adjustments and some changes. But at this point, after you have, in my opinion, addressed the biggest need for the team, which is getting another playmaking guard, and what you did is you got basically two buckets in the draft. Now, again, we got to see how well they play in the pros, but you got to give them a shot. I'm staying put. If I'm the Wolves, I'm staying put. And there is not a single team in the West, in my opinion, that made a move that was so great that puts the Wolves in a position where they have to make an instant move to get to the finals, or they have to make, I love what OKC has done. They needed to address the bigs, their front court. They did that, right? They needed to address their backcourt to some degree. They did that, right? I love what OKC has done. And I do like what the Mavs did as far as getting, Klay Thompson. I'm not mad at that. But I don't think anybody in the West has made any significant moves that make you say, the Wolves have to do something now. Nah, I think you stay put with what you have at this point. You run this back, and you see how far the team goes. Anthony Edwards should be better. These young players coming in, they're going to learn a lot, but they're going to be instant spark plugs off the bench. Hopefully Karl-Anthony Towns is healthy for this season. Nas Reed takes a step. Jaden McDaniels takes a step. The team has more chemistry. Obviously, you brought back Finch, right? I think you run it back. I think you run this thing back. I think you shut down all trade talks unless it's like, hey, Knicks, we'll think about Cat. We'll take Brunson. I tell you what they're gonna do. They're gonna hang up. And if I'm the Wolves, I'm not calling back. I'm not calling back. So that's just how I see it. And those are my takes for the day. I thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode. We got the Summer League again today. I wanted to get you guys an episode before today's game. And it looks like I'll be able, I don't have a watch on. Let me check. Yeah, I should be able to do that. So tune in to today's Summer League game. They're playing the Pacers. Hopefully, Rob plays a little better as far as scoring the basketball, and Terrence continues to ball out. USA basketball coming up as well this week. Hopefully, Ant is in the starting lineup and continuing to ball out. But until next time, I will catch you all on the next episode of Four Wolves Takes. Deuces.